The parent function of the absolute value function is f of x equals the absolute value of x. The domain of this function is negative infinity to infinity, and the range includes 0 and goes to infinity. The vertex is at 0, 0. The parameter function is f of x equals a times the absolute value of bx minus h plus k.
Parameter h. If h is greater than 0, the graph shifts to the left. If h is less than 0, the graph shifts to the right. If h equals 0, there is no effect on the graph. For this example, f of x equals absolute value of x plus 1, which means that the vertex of the whole entire graph is shifted over one area. And the domain and range stays the same as the parent function, which is domain is negative infinity to infinity, and range is including 0 to infinity. Parameter a. If the absolute value of a is greater than 1, the graph shrinks vertically or becomes narrower. If absolute value of a is between 0 and 1, the graph becomes wider. If a is less than 0, the graph reflects over the x-axis. If a equals 0, there is no effect on the graph. With a, the vertex stays the same, and the domain of this example, which is f of x equals 3 times absolute value of x, the domain is negative infinity to infinity, and the range is includes 0 to infinity.
For the graph of parameter k, the equation is f of x equals the absolute value of x plus k. If k is greater than 0, then the graph will shift up. If k is less than 0, the graph shifts down, and if k equals 0, there is no effect on the graph. This particular equation is f of x equals x, the absolute value of x minus 2, so it shifts down 2, which means that the domain will stay the same, being negative infinity to infinity, and the range is negative 2 to 0, but is including 2. For parameter b, the equation is f of x equals the absolute value of b times x. If the absolute value of b is greater than 1, the graph shrinks by the reciprocal. If the absolute value of b is between 0 and 1, the graph stretches by the reciprocal. If b is less than 0, then the graph will reflect across the y-axis. And if b equals 0, then there is no graph. This particular equation is f of x equals the absolute value of 1/2 x, and that means it stretches and becomes wider.